Sir William Crookes was a highly respected physicist and member of the Golden Dawn and the Society for Psychical Research. He was a pioneer of vacuum tubes, inventing the Crookes tube, which was made in 1875. Crookes believed spirits in the ether can move electrons and protons. The cathode ray tube, which fires billions of electrons at a glass screen covered in phosphorus. The cathode ray tube is the most important part of television, which was devised 40 years later by John Logie Baird, an invention that would enslave, program, and hypnotize billions of people worldwide. The elite's plan was simple: to buy all the worldwide media, which now consists of only 6 corporations, to control and program the masses, and change reality to that of a chosen reality, devised by the think tanks employed by the cabal. Knowing the secret, that reality can be manifested by suggestion, subliminal programming, and archetypes. Listen carefully. Remember how the hive mind works. Every human being and animal is connected to the earth, and we have our own grid high above the planet. Remember, size, distance, and time are all illusion. In the US and Australia, when they conducted tests in troubled suburbs, they brought in 1,700 people who thought positive, meditated, prayed, and chanted, and found that the trouble had stopped and people in the surrounding areas were peaceful. This is part of the 100th monkey phenomena, and let me assure you, this phenomenon is real. This is why the cabal bought out all the media to fully control the human grid and program the whole population at once. Let's look what they did in Australia to bring football and sport into the collective consciousness in that part of the world. With the help of people like the Murdoch media empire, through television, radio, and newspaper, to put sport on the front page of newspapers instead of important news, have now, through this grid connection, affected the collective consciousness of this side of the world. The cabal can now go by its business looting the wealth of the country.
Sport, well, that's why I moved. The pathological promotion of sport within the collective consciousness of the culture, I just simply find offensive, to tell you the truth. You can't turn a TV on in this country without seeing some thick-necked, bone-headed wombat talking about what he did with a ball. I'm like, shut up, mate. I'm not fucking interested.
Their mission was to dumb down the general public by entertaining them at a kindergarten level and program the masses with propaganda based on lies. The general public are unaware of this. They are walking around in a comatose, trance state of mind. This is happening all over the world. Of course, this dumbing down of societies was not only achieved by media, but with the help of the education system, the political, religious, and pharmaceutical companies, and the agricultural sector. Rockefeller once stated, "We could not have done this takeover without the help of our media and newspaper friends." Like a giant octopus, and its tentacles working together worldwide on every level that you could possibly imagine to achieve this global domination by the cabal. The third warning. The cabal have been trying desperately to program disasters to occur through subliminal and suggestive programming. In 2014, the biggest energy ritual took place simultaneously in front of 5 100,000 million unsuspected souls worldwide using the power of television. Televised was the Bible story played over consecutive nights with all its subliminal and black magic attachments. The Christ consciousness is coming. On the last night, right after the Bible story, they televised, wait for it, Poseidon, god of the sea, earthquakes and storms. The world is in total disharmony on every scale imaginable. This is causing negative energy to manifest. Chemtrails, HAARP, deforestation and fracking are also causing earthquakes and strange weather around the world. What scientists around the world are seeing are the end results of energy manifesting into, for example, sun activity and EMP bursts. Quakes are increasing, but scientists aren't sure what it means. No, it's not your imagination. The Los Angeles area is feeling more earthquakes this year. Earthquake experts said 2014 is clearly a year of increased seismic activity. The recent string of quakes suggests that a larger one is on the way. Remember how 9/11 came about? In Disclosure 4, it talked about the magic sigil markers printed on the money. Did you know they did the same magic ritual in 2012 through the Apple iPhone? I did a video on it, but no one took notice. Now, understand this. The controlled media programming being telecasted around the world is affecting the hive mind in such a way that people around the planet are thinking almost identical thoughts, especially about war, destruction, and disaster that we are all anticipating. It will happen. In fact, everyone from all walks of life and every professional without realizing it are making this happen using subliminal suggestive language. This is taken from davidicke.com. We are here to create a revolution unlike any that has gone before. A conscious awareness tsunami that will sweep the planet and shake our modern world to its very core. Can you see? It's saying one thing, and at the same time, subliminally linked to mean another thing. It's everywhere. Look around, and you will see it. Worldwide, the weather is going crazy. California's drought is the worst for 1,200 years, but worse is to come, warn scientists. Volcanoes. The number of volcanoes that are erupting continues to rise, and scientists cannot seem to explain why this is happening. In 2013, we witnessed the most volcanic eruptions worldwide that we have ever seen in a single year, and this increased activity has carried over into 2014. In recent months, we have seen major volcanoes roar to life in Russia, Peru, Hawaii, Reunion Island, Indonesia, and all over Alaska. It is highly unusual for so many volcanoes to be erupting at the same time. According to Volcano Discovery, a whopping 34 volcanoes are erupting around the globe right now. Chemtrails are appearing all over the world, some on daily and a weekly basis. I have personally witnessed many chemtrails activities in the past decade and plasma activity in the skies. I have been sent emails from around the world, including Australia, the Philippines, and right here in the US, stating that before a freakish storm, chemtrails have been seen in the skies. Today, we can specifically define these chemical trails as illegal geoengineering operations. There are many types of chemtrails. Some cause a forced desertification of some areas. Some cause floods and heavy rain. Some are used with smart dust, and others are used to counteract stealth activities. Within a decade, the Earth's climate has been a chaotic set of artificial phenomena. Controlling the atmospheric phenomena means the domination of the world's economy and resources. I highly recommend you watch the documentary Chemtrails: The Secret War. Not only is our health, but enormous resources confiscated from the general population are at stake. Chemtrails in each country costs around $20 million a day alone. Coming out of the crippling taxes enforced on the people are bleeding the wealth out of every country. The European Union and some political parties fund and train indoctrinated people to misinform you on websites and social networks. If we fail to stop these criminal operations, we can expect extreme weather conditions to take place with all the damage they might cause. We can especially expect an exponential increase in diseases. NASA is hiding a lot of things about space.
There's no energy, actually. Most of it you can't even measure in outer space or see.
You can't see.
No, you can't see the sun in free space.
So the sun is not visible in outer space.
Not in free space. It's only invisible when gross matter becomes involved, like the Earth's atmosphere and envelope and the surface of the moon or whatever. That makes the light. Otherwise, there is no light. You can see the moon, you can see the Earth, but you can't see the sun or you can't see the stars.
But you can see the planets and the satellite.
Right, you can see material objects, but you cannot see the sources of light. There is no light until there's a material object.
To reflect off.
So that means there's no time delay. So the whole time delay thing is meaningless. It doesn't take light years. There are no light years because there's no light. So that means that the light you see from the distant stars isn't 4 million years old. It could be only minutes old.
From the ABC, Tasmanian police and firefighters are unable to explain the source of a beam of light which reportedly fell from the sky and formed a circle of fire in a Hobart suburb. These strange beams of light have been reported from other places around the world. Could they be starting fires with laser beams from space platforms? But why? A distraction from world events? Virgin Galactic. On October 31, 2014, Virgin Galactic suffered a serious accident during a Spaceship Two test flight, resulting in the loss of the spacecraft. One pilot died in the crash, while another suffered injuries. NASA is hiding a lot of things about space. They don't want the public going up there. Space Shuttle Challenger.
Engines throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go with throttle up.
Roger, go with throttle up.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
Australia confirms that giant plasma tubes are floating above Earth. Astronomers have for the first time captured visual evidence of the existence of tubular plasma structures in the inner layers of the magnetosphere surrounding the Earth. For over 60 years, scientists believed these structures existed, but by imagining them for the first time, we've provided visual evidence that they are really there. The region of space around the Earth occupied by its magnetic field, called the magnetosphere, is filled with plasma created by the atmosphere being ionized by sunlight. The innermost layer of the magnetosphere is the ionosphere, and above that is the plasma sphere. They are embedded with a variety of strangely shaped plasma structures, including the tubes. Crop circles. The crop circle phenomena is another form of consciousness manipulation of the mindset of those desirous of an intervening savior that will redeem us from the horrific future we all now foresee. The idea of alien intervention or earth energies producing the mathematically precise geometries that have appeared over the past 25 years. A geometer will tell you how difficult and time-consuming just drawing these constructs on paper becomes, let alone the surveying skills and time required to lay them out on the landscape. They are far too complex and intricate for the guys from the pub to produce with boards and string in the few hours of darkness they have in summertime. Some folks have claimed to have seen glowing orbs flying around fields in the darkness and producing crop circles as they passed. One YT video shows this in action, but could be and likely is fake. All the information indicates that in each crop circle, the bend in the stalk occurs at the first knuckle joint above the ground, which appears to observers to have burst open as the stalk was bent. There has been no explanation offered for this phenomenon. However, that doesn't account for the stray stalks from a different crop, unless the process is generated by a frequency-specific microwave or laser beam that can be programmed to the specific and calculable resonant frequency of the knuckle joint of the target crop at that stage of its growth. The beam can also be programmed to draw precisely the specific diagram of the crop circle without error in quite short time, with a number of pre-programmed passes which heat and disrupt the stalk, causing it to fall in a chosen direction. This technique is virtually identical to stage laser shows, which produce images from a single laser source deflected by a rapidly moving mirror run by a computer program. Obviously, if that were the case, the stray stalks, which would have a different resonant frequency to the main crop, would be untouched and left standing. Problem solved, other than deciding where the laser platform is and whose agenda it's operating on. We will leave that up to you to decide, but I'll tell you there's been several set precisely on the 33rd degree between Stonehenge and Avebury in the UK, one of them having 33 loops around its perimeter. So I'm pretty sure the perpetrators aren't aliens or angels, since the 33rd degree isn't a resonance. It's a man-made lay, used as a metaphorical mathematical transition into the pi grid system, which Stonehenge and Avebury provide, being key frequency markers for the resonance system. So, if you want to point a finger, look up. NASA's job isn't just traveling in space. It's primarily satellites, which will eventually monitor and eventually control all of us. That's their real job, alongside mobile cell towers. These satellites and mobile cell towers will not only track you, but can beam signals to affect your mood, like sad, happy, sexual arousal, or even put you to sleep.
So they won't do business with me. Well, my little storm will take care of that. If there's no market, make one. The old law of supply and demand. And now, they'll have to come to me. First, I'll give them a little food, just enough to whet their appetites, then a little bit more, and finally, they'll trade me what I want.